So, a little update on the Fender Pac-Man Telecaster. So it did arrive safely. There were no scuffs or anything like that that I could detect when I got home. So that is good. I did have a friend of mine reach out to me in regards to the package. And one thing she mentioned was that the FedEx driver working that day, later he ended up having issues with the heat and ended up being hospitalized. So I hope he's okay. Maybe the heat was impairing his judgment, I don't know. But she did agree that the box should have been at least taped up. And one thing she also mentioned was that Fender didn't even insure the package. And I will say something else that another person said that I actually agree with is that Fender could have done a better job packing the guitar. At least double box it or something, or use more packing material, because it wasn't packed very good, I'll be honest. But since this one arrived safely, unlike the other one, I'm not going to complain about it at this time. But for other customers that choose to continue buying guitars from Fender, I hope Fender will consider packing their guitars better. Now let's get to the fun stuff. So one of the first things I had to do on this guitar is the fretboard was incredibly rough and dry. So I had to take some zero grit steel wool and go over each part of the fretboard to smooth the fretboard out. And then I used some lemon oil to condition it a little bit because it was dry. Oh, but the fun doesn't stop there. While I think the graphic is cool on this, I feel like Fender missed a few opportunities with this guitar. Now, I don't know if anybody else has done any mods to their Pac-Man Telecaster, but I did. Now, if I wanted to put it back fully stock, I could. I still have all the parts. It's not a problem. And before I show you the end result, let's take a look at the before picture. Now, it's not the exact guitar I have, but it's basically the same thing. Now, generally speaking, I do prefer chrome hardware. But for this guitar, the chrome hardware sticks out like a sore thumb. In my opinion, it kind of takes away and deviates from the graphic on the guitar. That's all been changed. And also, too, because we're doing a Pac-Man guitar, why didn't Fender consider a game button, like a kill switch or something? With that being said, let's see the finished product. Now that is what I'm talking about, y'all. Check this out. So again, all the hardware's been replaced. The bridge plate was replaced with the Nax Labs Tele bridge with saddles, which I got this off Reverb. And this, I believe, I got off of Amazon. This is a Tele control plate. And you'll notice that the pickup selector is angled, making it just a little easier to access. We've got yellow control knobs right here. I think you can also use these on guitar pedals, but they work great for guitars too. And I got these off of Etsy. And then Fender's missed opportunity right here. 16 millimeter game button. This is a kill switch. So, that's basically what a kill switch does. I'll do a playing demo later. I did have to drill an extra hole for the game button kill switch in this tele control plate. And I ended up using a step drill bit that I got from Amazon. Another thing I did was I replaced the output jack. It originally had a barrel jack, which I'm not a fan of, so I replaced it with this black one, where you can actually screw the output jack to the wood, and these are far better in my opinion. And then our electronics are different also, so we are rocking the EMG T set in red. This set normally comes with a volume and a tone knob, but I'm Josh Haynes. I like to do things differently. So instead of a tone knob, what we've got right here to replace the tone knob is EMG's Presence Booster. You can find this on the David Gilmour DG20 EMG set. Basically what it does, at least to my ears, is it acts as kind of a mid-boost and makes these pickups sound more humbucker-ish. So that really gives this guitar some versatility. I could turn this down, have a normal tele sound, or I could crank this and this tele will scream like a banshee. I used it in church this morning and it sounded awesome. But the fun doesn't stop there. Another thing we did is we replaced the tuners that were on here with Gotoh locking tuners, as you can see right there. Now the only thing I haven't changed yet, which will eventually be changed, is I'm going to change this neck plate to a neck plate from Greasy Groove, who made the Pac-Man pickguard for my blue Strat. We're still waiting on that, but when I have to change strings again on this guitar, I'll change that neck plate and this guitar will be complete. Now some of you guitar players may be asking, where did I mount the battery for the active electronics since EMGs are active? So I can tell you on the front end that there's not enough room in the control cavity right here to put a battery with everything I've got going. So the battery is mounted under the neck pickup. Now some might ask, well, isn't that going to cause electromagnetic static or noise or anything like that? I used it in church this morning and I didn't have any problems. These pickups are internally grounded and shielded, so you shouldn't have any issues putting a battery right under here. Just keep in mind you might have to maneuver the pickguard a little bit to get it off when you do change it, but luckily that's only like, once a year, give or take. And you can also use lithium batteries. Those usually last a lot longer. But yeah, overall guys, I'm really pleased with how this guitar turned out. I know I'm biased, but I think it looks way better with the black hardware and the new aesthetics, and everything just flows better. I might not be the first guy to mod his Pac-Man Telecaster, and if any of you out there have a Pac-Man Telecaster and you want to mod it like this, let me know if you have any questions. Pac-Man Tele modified to my specs. I think this looks awesome.